Chelsea fans, after that 5-1 demolition of Southampton Wednesday night, we finally have our Chelsea back. Tottenham host Chelsea Sunday the 8th of December, 4:30 PM kickoff at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Enzo Maresca needs to stand on business. This game is the last big game of 2024 and Enzo Maresca must get this right. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why Enzo Maresca needs to stand on business for Tottenham versus Chelsea. Not only that, I'm also going to talk about what Enzo Maresca said in his latest press conference and predict the Chelsea starting 11. So make sure you watch to the end. Did you know that 90% of the people watching this video right now are currently not subscribed to the channel? So make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content. Make sure you join the community and let's get into the video. Now, starting off with Enzo Maresca's latest press conference, I've pulled some of the most important bits from it and this is what he had to say. Enzo Maresca was asked if Tottenham was a reference point and he said, "We take every game as a reference. We try to do things better every game. Our reference is day by day, the training sessions. We can see clearly the players are happy and enjoying. Every game is a test for us." Enzo Maresca was then asked about Tottenham's unpredictability and he said, "They have very good players and a very good manager. What kind of problems they have, I don't know. But they are a fantastic team. You see the results. 2 weeks ago they beat City, so they are a very good team." Enzo Maresca also clarified that Robert Sanchez is Chelsea's #1 goalkeeper. Enzo Maresca was also asked about Noni Madueke, in which he said, "Noni, overall he is working well since he started, but sometimes he drops a little bit. He is not allowed to drop. In terms of numbers, he is doing fantastic. Off the ball, when we ask him to defend and press, he is doing very well. The reason I said this the other day is because I want the best for Noni and the way to do that is to push him. The moment he relaxes a little bit, it is wrong." He then goes on to say, "I try to be close to the players. When you want to be friends, when you say something wrong to your friend, he is not happy. He needs to know that what you say is because you want to take care of him." And lastly, Enzo Maresca was asked about Moises Caicedo inverting from right back, in which he said, "It is something that was in our minds since day one because of the Romeo injury and the Enzo moment. We use Moy as a holding midfielder. We use him as right back last game, and in the future we can expect to see him there, for sure. It could be an option." Now, I don't know about you Chelsea fans, but I really like the way Enzo Maresca handles himself in press conferences. He's very open and he's very honest. The words he said about Noni Madueke are completely true, and he gets to see him day in, day out in training behind the curtain. It's very interesting that he did say that we could see Moises Caicedo inverting from right back in the future, and if I'm being honest, I'm all for it, because the way that Caicedo executed that against Villa was absolute perfection. And once again, Enzo Maresca does confirm that Robert Sanchez is in fact Chelsea's #1, regardless of the recent performances from Jorgensen. Now, we still have the injuries of Reece James and Wesley Fofana, who won't be back till the earliest of January 2025. We also had a lot of squad rotation midweek against Southampton. Now, I have my own thoughts and feelings about who I feel will start against Tottenham Hotspur, so let's get into this predicted 11. So we know when it comes to the formation, Enzo Maresca loves the 4-2-3-1 system, and I think it works well with us. It allows us to invert. It comes across very natural. We play with a back four defensively. So I feel like he's going to stick with that. And we already know that he is going to be playing Sanchez. He's confirmed so many times that Sanchez is, in fact, Chelsea's #1, which to some Chelsea fans, or a lot of Chelsea fans actually, it's a bit of a shame because we like Jorgensen. He's played well in the last few games. To be fair, Sanchez has also stepped up against Villa. It was a great performance from him, and we've seen it from time and time again throughout the season that he can be an incredible shot stopper and a good keeper. It's just the consistency, and I'm hoping that Robert Sanchez can continue his run of form against Tottenham, because that's the type of game where if he can be solid, play his best game with no silly mistakes, that's going to help us massively with our back four defending and just keeping a clean sheet. Maybe not keeping a clean sheet, but just keeping the amount of goals conceded very, very low. It would help us out massively. So I'm hoping that Sanchez is going to play well. Now, when it comes to the left back, there's only one choice for me, and that is Cucurella. He was incredible. I always spell it wrong on here. I don't know why I always put the A, but we're going with Cucurella left back. For me, best left back in the league, currently on form. He's been insane for the last 12 months. We did see him play against Southampton. Had an incredible game against Southampton. Again, it's like his standards are so high now. It's so high. Same with Moises Caicedo. Their standards are so high that it's very hard for them not to be in the starting 11. Now, he was rotated out with Renato Vega. I think Vega played good. He kind of slipped in and done his job in placement of Marc Cucurella. But we all know that he is going to start a left back against Tottenham, and hopefully he can continue this run of form and have an exceptional game. Now, when it goes to the centre backs, this is where a lot of people have got question marks. Now, I know that Levi Colwill was going to play. We know that because he was rested against Southampton, and Enzo Maresca loves using Levi Colwill. I think he's a fantastic centre-back with a cheat code of line-breaking passes. This guy, as the weeks go on, he is getting more cool, calm, collected on the ball, winning more in the air, becoming more solid, not jumping in nearly as much as he was near the start of the season, which I'm super happy about, because him and Fofana went through a spell of games where one would overcommit to a challenge, or they would both overcommit to a challenge, and there'd just be this massive pocket of space central of our defence that opposition could exploit. And they've slowly stopped doing that and only committing when they know they're going to win the ball. Now, Colwill has made a few silly challenges. He's not going to be perfect every week. He is only 21, which still blows my mind how young he is. But he has been getting better and better week by week, so we know that he's going to play. He's one of Enzo Maresca's favourites in that centre-back position. But who partners him? So, against Southampton, we saw Disasi have a good game, and we had Tosin who came in, who had an okay game. It wasn't amazing, and it definitely wasn't bad. The one person I feel like he will start against Colwill is Benoit Badiashile, because he was not used at all against Southampton. And Badiashile, in the last couple of appearances he's come on, whether it's off the bench or started, he has actually played fantastic football. And I've openly put my hands up many times. I always give this guy credit where it is due. I'm not Benoit Badiashile's biggest fan. But in the last few appearances, we've really seen the Badiashile that we bought in them first 6 or 7 games when he looked like an absolute Rolls Royce of a defender. So I'm actually going to go with Badiashile. I feel like he will start alongside Colwill against Tottenham purely because he was rested midweek. I'd be quite happy to see Tosin in there, or even Disasi after the last performance. But I feel like of those three, currently it will be Badiashile. And when it comes to right back, I don't think we're going to see Caicedo inverting from right back against Tottenham. Again, I could be horribly wrong. Our last predicted video on this channel against Villa was hideously wrong because of this tactic. But I'm glad that Enzo Maresca has highlighted that it can be an option for us. It gives us another dynamic, because Caicedo, like I said earlier in the video, executed that role perfectly against Villa. But I don't think we're going to see that against Tottenham when you've got the likes of Son on the other side, Kulusevski, if they swap wings, running at our right back. I feel like it's got to be Malo Gusto that starts there. It's got to be Malo Gusto. He played against Southampton. He got himself an assist, which is really, really good to see for Malo Gusto. I really rate him. He is so young. He had such an incredible breakthrough season last season, getting like 8 or 9 assists from right back. So overused because obviously Reece James was in and out of injury. We did put Disasi there from time to time when Gusto was injured too. But he's such an incredible talent. My only criticism of him is now he's starting to get further forward and be in those sort of pockets up in around the 10 area, mainly on the right hand side. He needs to be a bit more decisive and a bit more clinical, not necessarily in his finishing, but in that final pass, because that can let him down at times. However, he is a right back, so I'm not expecting him to be scoring 10-15 goals a season and getting a load of assists, even though when he was bombing up and down that right hand side last season, his delivery of the ball is great. So I've got a good feeling with Gusto playing right back, especially handling people like Son or Kulusevski or whoever they've got playing on their wings. I feel confident with Malo Gusto. Now, when we move on to the 6-6 pivot, there is only 2 players that can fill these void in current form. Obviously, the best DM in world football right now. I would be as bold to say world football right now. He is actually incredible. It's Moises Caicedo, and it's been such a transformation, because when we bought him, a lot of rival fans were saying, oh, he's a flop, it's a waste of money, he's not that good. And as the season went on, admittedly, it did take him a few months to kind of settle, find his feet in a very disruptive Chelsea team under Pochettino, who was trying to settle the ship with loads and loads of injuries, chopping and changing of players. But from the turn of the year, from January, almost a calendar year now, he's been exceptional, getting better week by week by week. And now, like I said, one of the best DMs in world football. So he has to go in there. He's got such an engine on him. He can play forever. He's almost like our new Kante, which is just insane when you think about it. But I don't think the comparison's actually that wild, if I'm being honest. Now, Enzo Fernandez has to partner him, in my opinion. Enzo Fernandez has been an incredible run of form recently, with all the assists and the goals stacking up back-to-back games. Whether he's scoring or assisting, his delivery's better. He just looks all round like a rejuvenated player. Again, I've said this a few times. I know he's had some things going on off the pitch. No real comment on that because that's his life. But what it does look like on the pitch is he looks a lot happier, looks a bit more focused on his work and his craft, and it's showing off, and he's now delivering with the team in terms of goals and assists. But the other thing about Enzo Fernandez that people aren't really picking up, and a lot of Chelsea fans are starting to pick up on now, is he's getting the assist of assists, if that makes sense. So when he's always included in that build-up of play, and he's getting forward a lot more rather than being a deep-line playmaker. Now, I have said I like Enzo as a deep-line playmaker, but he's starting to show that when he gets a bit further up the pitch in this Enzo Maresca system, we're starting to see the best of Enzo Fernandez. And again, he's starting to show his price tag. Not close in terms of Caicedo, for me, has warranted it. Like you say he's a £115 million player. I'm like, yeah, cool. You can see that week in, week out. Enzo is slowly chipping away at that to kind of prove to people, yeah, he's also worth the same amount of money. But the improvements in this guy has been insane in the last, I'd say, month or so, and we're really seeing a rejuvenated Enzo, and I absolutely love it. Now, when it comes to the left wing, I'm going with Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, there's so much we can say about Jadon Sancho. I don't want to chew your ear off for an hour just on one player. This guy is the epitome of rejuvenated, right? Enzo Maresca, whether it's the players, whether it's the manager, whether it's the system, whether it's the environment, whether it's the club culture, who knows? It could be an amalgamation of all of these things. Jadon Sancho is playing his best football at Chelsea Football Club. He's already contributed 7 GA in the last 10 games in a Chelsea shirt. That's outstanding in terms of a new player coming in. We know that he's got the quality. He was in the Champions League final last season with Dortmund. No one really knows what was going on at United. They said it was an attitude problem, this and that. I think it was just a clash between Ten Hag and Sancho. Sancho looks to be very happy and also looks to be like a very professional player in terms of going in, fighting for his place. He got his first Chelsea goal against Southampton, which was a banger. And even in the press conference after the game, he said, I finally took that shot. I finally shot and it went in. And to be fair, I even said this in the 5 things that we learned. The shot that he did take, yes, he converted. It was probably one of the hardest shots or opportunities for him to shoot since we've all been screaming at him to take the shot. He's also very decisive in terms of setting up and creating chances. I absolutely love that about him. So I feel like the Conference League game was good to get him fresh for minutes under his belt. Played well there. And then he comes on at Southampton. Obviously, Noni started. Did very well with a goal and assist. And then Sancho replaces him. He then comes on and bags himself a goal. He's just running high on confidence. And a lot of our players are right now. And momentum and confidence right now is... we're scoring goals for fun. I'm going to be so excited to see Sancho against Spurs and kind of see what he does. Now, obviously, in the 10 role, there's only one person for it, and that is Cole Palmer. Now, there is always an argument for João Felix because João Felix has played in off the left the last couple of games, and you've actually had Palmer and Felix in the same team, and it's worked incredibly well. And a lot of people were actually getting on my back a little bit in the comments on the 5 things we learnt because I gave João Felix an amber box because I thought he had an incredible game. It's fantastic overall. The only thing that let him down was his end product, that finish inside. Missed that header. I still can't understand days later how he's missed that header. And a couple of shots that kind of went wayward or blocked. And that's not any discredit to João Felix. I love watching him. He's genuinely one of my favourite players. And I love the fact he plays for Chelsea. However, I just think he's not going to get in over Cole Palmer, and the form that Sancho's in and how clinical he is and how he, when you do the maths in terms of like the chances created or the amount of opportunities he needs to either get an assist or a goal, the minute ratio is ridiculously low. So I feel like we're going to see Cole Palmer, who also had a good game against Southampton, nabbing that goal and then saying after on his Instagram, my FPL managers needed me. Thank you for that, by the way, Cole. Really appreciate it. Got the points we needed on FPL. He's one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league currently. So, of course, Palmer's going to play. And I feel like Sancho right now is the better option on that left wing. Natural winger. Stay high and wide. Beat your man. Now, when it comes to the right wing, a lot of people will say Noni Madueke. There's also a lot of Chelsea fans that will say Pedro Neto. I'm going to go Pedro Neto. And that is no disrespect to Noni Madueke, because I understand he played well. He got his goal and assist. He missed 4 big chances. Not that I'm, trying to just use stats against him. I obviously watched the game and passed the eye test. He had a good game overall. But I just think that we rested Neto for two reasons. One, he was one yellow card away from a suspension. And two, he doesn't play 2 games in a week. So he's going to play against Spurs. I love watching Neto. He's explosive. He's exciting to watch. His defensive work is great. He'll pick the ball up and drive with it. The assist that he's, or parts of player attacking play where it's led to goals has already been fantastic. I think that he links up with Cole Palmer very, very well. They have this sort of connection already, which is so nice to see from a new signing, along with Sancho as well. So I think that's a killer 3 in midfield there. Sancho on the left, Neto on the right, Palmer in the middle, and it's making my mouth water. Now, when it comes to the centre forward, there is only one man for it, and again, I understand because Christopher Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson, who do you go for? They are both firing on all cylinders. Nkunku is Chelsea's top goal scorer of the season with 12 goals in all comps. He scored a goal against Prem in the Prem against Southampton. And I think he played well. The difference is the type of player. Nicholas Jackson was rested against Southampton because, again, he's 1 yellow card away from suspension. He is scoring goal for fun right now in the Premier League, and it has to be Nicholas Jackson for me. I think he is Chelsea's number 9. I think he's our main man. And this season, he's really proven the doubters wrong on last season. He converts a lot more. He's so clinical. He's got the highest shot conversion rate so far in the Prem, I believe. It's between him and Mohamed Salah, and I think Jackson nicks it. It's like 25%, which is just outrageous considering how wasteful he was last season. Massive improvement, really growing into the role. You can see the maturity with him when he plays as well. So I'm going with Nicholas Jackson. That, to me, when I look at that 11, that excites me. That excites me, and I feel very, very confident that 3 points will be coming away with Chelsea. I love that. We are so potent, good run of form, confident right now. That is my predicted 11. So that is my predicted 11 to face Tottenham Hotspur this Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 4:30 p.m. Do you agree or do you disagree? Now, I did say I was going to talk about why Enzo Maresca needs to stand on business, and this is one very simple reason. We're playing Tottenham. Look at the history within this fixture. Look at last year's result with an unstable Chelsea team and a Postecoglou Tottenham. We need to use this momentum, use this confidence, and the history that surrounds this fixture. Enzo Maresca needs to stand on business. He needs to get the 3 points, and we need to continue getting more points on the board to stay as high as we can in the Premier League table. Now, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this starting 11, your thoughts and opinions on the game in the comment section below. I love having a conversation with you guys. And if you made it this far to the end of the video, there'll be a thumbnail on the screen. So if you're a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you'll enjoy that video too.